Okay, let's try this again, everybody. My name is Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist. I'm going to be chatting with Miss Beautiful Kings TV this afternoon on my Women Crush Wednesday series. And it looks like we're experiencing some technical difficulties. So thanks for hanging in there. And I'm going to see if I can add her now. Let's see. Welcome, you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, thank you for the wave and the love, you all. Okay. Let's Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for joining us. We're excited about chatting with my M for this Wednesday. She is my my Women Crush Wednesday, and I'm so happy to introduce her to you all. So while we're waiting for her to join, thank you so much for coming back. While we're waiting for her to join, I'll tell you a little bit about who I am. I am a life and career strategist. What does that mean? It means I have a passion for helping people go from unfulfilled jobs to their dream careers. And I chose to do this series because I want to introduce you all to what it means to be a great career coach. We talked a little bit about, I think it's about 2 weeks ago, about building your executive board. And one of the people on your executive board, if you're treating your career like a brand, you need to have an executive board. One of those members on the executive board needs to be a career coach. And how you select that career coach, you need to know their qualifications. And one of their qualifications is that they help connect you to other professionals that are going to have transformational effects in your life. They're going to have transformational effects on your career. And so when you're searching for one, make sure that they have one. So our previous M, I think was like 2 weeks ago, was Erin, and she did makeup. And so this week we're going to do mental health. So thank you all for your patience. I'm going to see where my girl is. Where did she go? Not sure. So if you can see me, love, go ahead and request. It's at Beautiful Kings TV. Okay, I think I'm just going to have to type her in. Let's see. There she is. Okay. There she is. Here she comes, you all. Thank you for your patience throughout these technical difficulties. I hear you. Hi, gorgeous.
Hello.
Thank you for bearing with me. I had to actually type you in, and I appreciate your patience. Okay. So I was sharing with our group this afternoon that this is a part of our M series, our Women Crush Wednesday M series. And I want to introduce you all to Miss Tanya King-Wagner. I'm going to spend a little time bragging about her on today. So she's a part of our M series. And the reason why I chose her for my Women Crush Wednesdays is because this lady is crushing her goals. She is a jack of all trades and a master of them all as well. Not only can she make your outside look gorgeous as a makeup artist, but she can help you work on that inside, the mental health piece. And she truly cares about helping people through their challenges. So she and I have known each other, I think it's been about, 4 years now, love? I think it's been about 4 years. And I know her, we both are contracted to work for the same agency and company, but I know her outside of that work arena, and I know her heart for helping people. And so I was so excited to be able to introduce her to you all, because one of the things that is a block for a lot of people being successful in their career is that they have a lot of unearthed mental health issues, issues that they have not chosen to work on thoroughly. So I was like, who can I bring to the table? Welcome you all to talk about those mental health issues. And she was the very first person that popped in my mind. So I want to introduce to you all, and I'm going to put my mute on my voice so she can introduce herself to you all and talk a little bit about what she does. take it away. The floor is
Okay, well,
yours.
Jessica, first of all, let me just say thank you so much. And I thank you
Welcome.
with your patience, for your patience this morning on helping me to get on live. This is actually my first time. So thank you for everyone that's actually
Yay!
tuning in right now. And I also want to thank Swag Her Magazine for just allowing me to be on your platform. I'm just very thankful on today. And I also just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on today, because without him, I wouldn't even have this opportunity. He's truly just done a great job of surrounding me with just a lot of people who are focusing on just doing good things in the world. And so I'm thankful for that. So let me just start off by sharing. I've kind of been, I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I have been in the working in the mental health realm now for over 10 years. And my passion and my desire is really to work with people who have gone through depression, anxiety, various different types of trauma, changes in their life. So many things can happen throughout the course of your lifespan. And a lot of times it's nothing that we did to initiate some of those hurts and pains. So I have a really strong passion to work with those people who are really have an vested interest in healing and moving on to the next level in their lives, so that pain doesn't necessarily control every aspect of your life. And so in the counseling realm, that's something that I work with clients on. And as I said, I've done this for about over 10 years, and I work with children to adults, so there's really no age range. And most of the time, of course, if it's children, their parents are referring them for therapy. And that's kind of the setting that I've really worked in with children and families, and just overall developing healing.
You said healing, and that word just jumped out to me. Why did you choose the word healing?
Because, healing, when you think of healing, a lot of times we go to the doctor and you have, you'll go for your stomach ache, or you'll go if you have a flu, and you go to be healed, to be delivered, to be set free from whatever that ache, whatever that pain is. And a lot of times I find, even in this life that we're living now, we don't really get healing, meaning we don't get the relief or the burden moved. So those hurts and pains can become progressive aches throughout the course of your lifespan. And when you're not healed from something, it is doomed to come back again. And when it comes to mental health, it will manifest itself in various ways in your life. And so healing is really important. And I have a strong belief that God wants to deliver us from these things that have happened to us, so that they do not define who we are as we continue throughout our lifespan.
That's good stuff. So as you're talking about healing, I'm just hearing that in two different veins. On the one hand, we're in this holiday season, and everyone's supposed to be very, very joyous, spending time with family and friends, and how sometimes past hurts can hinder us from even enjoying people's company. And then the other side I hear about that is that I hear, even in the career space where people are hurt, you said depression and anxiety and trauma, where you can be depressed on your job and not realize that it's some hurt that you got to
Absolutely.
heal, or you've got anxiety about pushing forward in your career. And sometimes people just need that help. You mentioned it. You said people will go to the doctor, but unfortunately, people don't readily go for mental health assistance. Why do you think that is? Why do you think people don't reach for that mental health assistance?
I think a big portion of it is the stigma of mental health. And I think with all of the things that we're seeing that has happened in the news, and all these sensationalized cases that we've been hearing about, is pushing us more so to focus on mental health. But a big portion of it is, when you think about your health, when you go to school, even from a young child, they train us to go get our immunization shots, keep up with your regular health appointments, your doctor's appointments, getting your eyes checked. A lot of it is not about, hey, how are you really doing today? What's happening with you psychologically, And I think we've done great advancements now in the medical realm, where they are trying to screen and ask certain questions. But I think we need to continue to spend more time on that area, that when you go to your doctor's appointments, it's not only about your physical health, because the truth of the matter is, you can have some serious psychological pains and hurts that are turning into somatic issues, meaning you're not being diagnosed with cancer, or you're not having, some of these major life-threatening illnesses, but you're experiencing pains in your body. And a lot of that is actually coming from stress. And typically after they weed it out, whether it's a medical health condition, then the last thing is, well, let's see if it's an issue. And then sometimes your doctor will refer you. So I think a part of it is just preconditioning and how we've been trained to focus on some of the other aspects, but not necessarily our spiritual and psychological health.
Absolutely. And like you were saying, it's going to show up in every aspect of your life. How do I connect it to career? When I'm thinking about how people will go into interviews and still be bitter about their last job and they haven't worked on that, and they're answering those questions like, oh, I left my last job because my boss was crazy, or they didn't give me what I wanted. But when it really is, it's an internal work that has to be done in order to get those external rewards. You've got to do that internal work.
Absolutely.
So you are definitely talking about some great things. And one of the things you were talking about how now we see in the media about how mental health is something that we cannot ignore, especially within the African American community. There's a lot of stigma around that.
Yes.
And so what would you especially when it comes to mental health, what are some things that you suggest people to do to take care of your mental health?
Well, the first thing is, I think we need to weed out distractions. We're living in an age right now where we're very distracted. I mean, I love social media and I really do enjoy it, but you can be very distracted by what's happening in the world and what's going on around you. And I just want to say thank you for people who have logged in and are making comments. I really appreciate that. But you can be really distracted by what's happening around you. And so the first thing is to try to cut off some of these distractions. So that's my first thing. Try to weed out some of your distractions so you can start making a conscious effort to hear yourself. To hear how you're feeling, to hear also what you're thinking about. A lot of us are perseverating on all different types of thoughts all throughout the day. And we're thinking about past hurts, past pains all day long, and you need time to weed out those distractions to really focus. The second thing I would say is to speak the truth. Now, a lot of this is difficult for some because, speaking the truth, we kind of live in a world where, sometimes people will tell lies because, if somebody says, how you doing? We really don't want to say, well, hey, I'm doing horrible. My life is in the pits and I'm going through this and I'm going through that. So we also are preconditioned to not really being transparent about how we're feeling. And I know that can be hard, but my hope is that, and I would encourage anybody to see if they can find someone. If it is a therapist, go to therapy, find a connection with a therapist, or if it's a friend, maybe you're not ready for therapy, but you have really good support systems. And a lot of people have friends who are in the mental health realm anyway, but find somebody that you can be vulnerable with, that you can really share how you're feeling and be honest. Be honest about how you feel, about the decisions that you've made. Be honest, because when you're honest, then people really can know how to help you. And you might have a friend that might say, hey, girl, you need to go to therapy, or hey, man, you ever thought about going to talk to somebody? But if you're not being honest about what's happening, people are not going to know how to truly help you. And so when you're honest with yourself, it also can give you room to just decide what you want to do as you continue to move forward. So that's the second thing I would say. So weed out distractions and be honest.
Let me interrupt you just for a second, because I just feel
sure.
Like these are so flowing into one another. And I just really like how you said that you're actually able to listen to yourself. Because when you're listening to the media, when you're listening to television, you don't know what thought is yours and then what thought is something that's been fed to you to make you a consumer of that particular thought process. And so I'm looking down because I'm taking down notes. This is some good stuff that you're sharing. I like this. It says, honestly, okay. Talking about burdens. Yeah, everyone has burdens.
Yes, honesty is a light yoke that has no burdens. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's some good stuff. And I mean, the way you just posed it was so beautiful, because like if you are telling the truth, which a lot of times social media doesn't, people are posing and taking pictures and making sure the lighting is just right. To be able to tell a truth that they want to present. And then we see a lot of people in different realms who are taking their lives and not having that confidant. So I just wanted to say,
Absolutely.
it's just beautiful how you're connecting those two things. So please share more because I'm over here taking notes.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, so weeding out the distractions, speaking the truth, and finding somebody to be vulnerable with. The other thing is, the third thing I would say is begin to focus on things that will enhance you, spiritually, physically, psychologically. For me, church is really important to me. Prayer is important to me. You have some people, I know everybody doesn't share the same beliefs, so I totally understand that. But you need to focus on things, develop hobbies and skills, things that will help you as you continue on, so that you can have some coping skills. How are you going to get out your stress? How are you going to, deal with some of the things that are happening? And going to the gym, eating healthy, all of these things can help you so that you can develop more coping skills when you have to manage, because the stress is there. It doesn't go away. And the funny thing about the brain is it records stress, and it records how you respond in stress. So even when you're not feeling stressed at the moment, your body still continues to manifest the symptom of stress or manifest stress. And that cortisol hormone is always active and ongoing. And so you might think like, I'm finished with it. I'm done with that. I thought about 2 days ago. Now you pick it up, you're thinking about it again. It's causing something to happen within your body. And so that's something we want to pay attention to. So get active, involve yourself in things that will be beneficial to you, hobbies, things of that nature that can help you relieve stress. That's the third thing I would say. The other thing I would say is forgive yourself. Forgive. This is really important, forgiving. Now, in the counseling realm, when you go to a therapist, they can help you walk through the process of forgiveness, because forgiveness can be really challenging. I am not a master at forgiveness at all. I mean, I've had to learn how to forgive, and a big portion of that has been through my faith base and my belief in Jesus Christ and some of the biblical principles that can help you. But choosing to forgive truly is freedom. It can help you to move on with your life. Some people are never going to come back. They're never going to say sorry. You're never going to get what it is you believe you deserve. And most of the time we do deserve it. But my life can't stay stuck because of what somebody did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or yesterday. And a lot of people are stuck. We're stuck. And I have been stuck in the past, focusing on things that as of today have no relevance. We have to move forward. So through the counseling process, if you're in counseling, you need to be focusing on forgiveness. If you're not, then try to focus on forgiveness and truly being able to say, I want to move on from this thing. And let me be clear, forgiveness is not giving somebody a pass for what they did. People do need to be accountable for what they've done. But when I say that I want to forgive, what I'm really saying is I want to let this thing that you did go so that I can move on and be free to live the rest of my life and not be stuck in a cycle of constantly thinking about what you've done. Because in reality, when that happens, you think about it, it might have been something that they did one time. But if I'm living in that every day, you did it more than once. Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm the only person that can cut that cord. So these people have moved on. They're doing them. And we're still there. So forgiving is something that's really important. And the last thing I would say is practicing gratefulness, having a grateful attitude, gratitude. Gratitude is really important. When we have gratitude, studies are showing that the more gratitude that we have and the more we practice the art of gratitude, that the less time that we're going to spend focusing on the things that we can't control and the things that are bothering us, which we can't really do. A lot of things in life you cannot do much about. You can only choose how you're going to respond. But when you sit and ponder, man, I'm thankful that I woke up today. I'm thankful that I still have a job. I'm thankful that I have family, I have a loved one. Sometimes it's just maybe one person, but to expel that gratitude about that thing can help you to focus on the things that you do have. Because when we're hurting, it seems like we have nothing. It seems like everything is wrong in life. And a lot of times there are things that are out there, people that love us and care for us, and we might not necessarily be tapping into those resources. So last but not least, I would say practicing gratefulness and gratitude.
Hmm. What a timely message to have, and to take with us throughout this day, when tomorrow is a holiday designed for being thankful and grateful and being able to be around family, friends, and loved ones. And so that, I mean, these are things that are beautiful, especially, like I said, during this holiday season, a lot of people will slip into depression.
Yes.
With the shorter days, the less daylight, that can affect depression. And
Yes.
if they don't have a lot of family and friends to be around, or the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, I just think that you're giving such great pearls of wisdom to combat that before it happens.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
because even when we talk about enhance and forgiveness and gratefulness, they are wonderful things to have when you think about how much you're going to spend for Christmas. Like
Right.
you really just want to be grateful that you have that time with family. Are you giving gifts that will enhance people? And I want to come to that point right there. To the Swag Her Magazine community, like, I really feel like I'm excited about what they provide for you all. They're providing material that's going to enhance your life, and this is one of the things that's going to enhance your life. This conversation that we are having today. So when you all are thinking about, buying your gifts and things like that, stop and think about mental health. Stop and think
Absolutely.
about, researching a great clinical social worker with over 10 years of experience and working with people, because you really want to make sure that they are all right on the inside. Because it doesn't matter what you put underneath the tree if they're not all right on the inside.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned that you work with children and adults. How do you work with
Hmm.
children and adults? Do you have a particular therapeutic model? How frequently do you work with them? Can you give us a little information around the work that you do with clients?
Sure, sure. So every client is different, and a lot of the times the therapeutic modality that you might use in treatment might vary, and it's really based off of the client and where they are. So what you might have heard of, people talk about talk therapy a lot, and that's really where you just come, you meet with a therapist, and you just kind of get to ventilate everything that is on your mind, how you're feeling, what you're going through. And that's really for people who have a deeper level of insight. Some people really know what their problems are pretty, maybe you've had instances like this in the past. And so you're just really looking for somebody to help you talk things out, do goal planning, do coaching and things of that nature. So the modality can vary by clients. But a lot of the times when I'm meeting with people, a lot of the work is CBT work, or what we call cognitive behavioral therapy. So that's really cognitive restructuring, which is really just helping you to change the way that you're thinking about the situations and the circumstances that you've been through. Because when bad things have happened to us, or we've experienced negative things, we kind of develop that outlook on life. And because of that outlook, we can really be promoting more negative things to happen to us. It's actually quite powerful. And so CBT helps you to think about things differently and really start paying attention to what you're thinking, how you're feeling. And that can be used with kids and with adults. The other type of therapy that I specialize in is DBT, or dialectical behavioral therapy. And that's a therapy that you can use, and that's really for people who have had long-term instances of trauma in their lifespan. Some people have had acute traumas, meaning you went through something so traumatic, but it was only one time. So that could be a car accident, that could be a physical assault or something. It could be even be people who have been a part of a natural disaster. And then you have people who have had complex and ongoing traumas, where it's multiple different types of trauma that have compounded throughout the course of their lifetime. So within DBT, if that's something that's fitting for that person, I would identify that when we meet and make a suggestion about that, about how we're going to go in treatment, their treatment goals. And we'll really begin. And DBT is very skills focused, because the whole premise is you've been spending a lot of time suffering already with the thoughts, with everything that you've been going through. You are currently suffering, and DBT helps you to say, how can you begin to suffer less and less every day? and it's very skills focused. So that means you get homework, you have things that you have to do every day. And the opening of the session also begins with talking about, how did you help yourself last week? What skill did you actually use between the time that we met, since we've met 2 days ago, or since we met yesterday? What skills are you actively using? So those are two of the major ones that, I kind of infuse into therapy when I'm meeting with people. And then also just trauma-informed practice, a lot of it. And that's, helping people go over their trauma, talk about it, develop a new trauma narrative. So that really, in a nutshell, is just saying, just because something happened to me, I am not going to let this thing define me. And I can now take this thing that happened and use it for my betterment. And you see a lot of people do that. Horrible things that have happened to people, now they're the spokesperson for that thing.
Yeah.
That's taking that narrative, that's taking control of your own story and saying, I'm not going to be a victim here, I'm going to be a survivor. And a survivor is able to overcome and reign, and still enjoy life and still have joy. So those are some of the things and some of the type of work that I do with people in the therapeutic room, so to speak. And so, like I said, the treatment can be tailored, and it's based on your need.
Mm-hmm. That's some good stuff. And I'm so grateful that you're giving all this information, because I think some of the stigma is not knowing what would take place once you go in that room.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, well, how is talking going to help me? So you really, really gave a clear plan and detail on to how that really helps you. So it's not just sitting on the couch. This is active work to, like you said, take control of your own story. We're getting ready to move into a new year, a new decade. It's about time to take control of your story.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be doing, on all of Instagram, I'm seeing people taking pictures of what they look like 10 years ago. And they're posting that. I'm like, well, are you still dealing with the same issues from 10 years ago? So you all do not want to be dealing with the same mental health issues that you dealt with 10 years ago. You need to work with a skilled clinician, and we are talking to one today. You need to work with a skilled clinician to help you with that. And so one of the things that I wanted to highlight also was, how do people get in contact with you if they are deciding that 2020 is going to be different for them? How could they get in contact with you to be able to work with you?
If they want to work with me, they can go onto my website. That's one way. And the website address is www.riversofhealingcounseling.com. It's all one word. And again, that's riversofhealingcounseling.com. I can also be reached by phone, and the phone number is 301-882-1008. Again, that's 301-882-1008. I also have, we have an Instagram page, so you can follow us on Instagram, and that's Rivers of Healing, one word. We can be found through there, and the link to the website is also on there. And we give you more information about the practice, who we are, all of the documents on there, the enrollment questions. I put a lot of frequently asked questions to clarify some misconceptions and things of that nature onto the website. So pretty much everything you need is on that website. And again, you can also reach me by phone.
Absolutely. And so if you can do me a favor and put the phone number in the comments section, because I put Rivers of Healing, and double check to make sure I got the Rivers of Healing Counseling correctly for the website. But I also wanted to, first of all, I wanted to say thank you all for giving me all of those comments, and giving thumbs up to what Tanya is sharing with you all today, because this is some life-changing information that she's sharing with you. And we got somebody that's going to go look over at you now. Thank you, Baby Queen 1990.
Oh, thank you so much.
You know what? And make sure you will tell Swag Her Magazine that this is great information. Oh, thanks, Glam Gal 85. The phone number is there, 301-882-1007. 882-1007.
It's actually 1008, Jessica. I'm so sorry.
Rewrite.
Sorry, guys.
Because we definitely want you all to take care of yourself. And there's going to be so many Black Friday sales tomorrow. You're going to hear about how a new pair of shoes is going to change your life, about how getting low financing on a car is going to make your Christmas great. But on the inside, if you continue to purchase things on the outside, it's not going to heal you on the inside. So
absolutely,
if you're definitely in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, and you're looking for someone to support you through your challenges, to make a life life changed, you want to give Tanya a call. And so she gave you her phone number, her Instagram, her email, her website. But you can also reach out to Swag Her Magazine to say, the lady was interviewed. Tanya, can you tell me how to contact her? You can contact me. I definitely will put you in connection. So there's multiple ways of connecting with her to make sure that you are well on the inside. And
absolutely.
Again, I mentioned earlier, it's not just about you as well. This is a great gift to give, the gift of mental well-being, the gift of wellness. So even if you make the connection for the person, say, here's the website, I will be willing to, drive you or send an Uber, support people in that, because they may be a little bit apprehensive about going.
Absolutely. And as much as I would love to work with people, a part of this to me being here today is really I'm not looking to ploy business for myself. I'm just looking to put out information out there and connect with a therapist, meet, talk with people, and see if you can find a match. If that match is going to be me, then wonderful. I'm going to welcome you in that therapeutic room, but it might not be me. So, but just be encouraged to find somebody, and don't stop. Find someone that works for you. You can also go into Psychology Today, and there's tons of therapists on there by location that you can find somebody. I'm in the Hyattsville area in the DMV.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I know Tanya is humble, so she's not going to brag on herself. But if you want some life-changing transformations, you definitely want to work with Tanya. Tanya, I want to give some space. Do you have any announcements of anything coming up that you want to share with the community or anything like that?
Sure. So in the month of December, if people are following me, so definitely if you haven't gotten a chance already, please go and follow us at Rivers of Healing on the Instagram page. And we're going to be doing, for the month of December, we're going to be really focusing on there's freedom and forgiveness. And so a lot of those posts, and you'll be seeing some videos from me, not long videos, but probably about a minute or so, just encouraging and talking about some concepts of forgiveness and things that we can do to kind of help ourselves feel a little bit freer before the new year comes. So I'd love for you guys to join me in that process, and hopefully you'll feel a little lighter as the year goes into 2020. And outside of that, I'm going to be just doing a quick challenge, and just really, it's very brief, but just challenging people over the course of the next 7 days to see if you can engage in some act of self-care. And again, self-care is what you want. So people say, well, what should I do? What do you have an interest in doing? Find something to do and do it. Find something to do and do it. And of course, I would definitely promote activity, as much activity as possible. Running, jogging, walking, skipping, jumping, hopping, anything that you can do to promote self-care and wellness and release some of the good hormones in your brain, some good dopamine in your brain. That's what you want to do.
Absolutely. Because like you said, that stuff will build up, and you wonder why you're packing on the pounds, because it's stress.
That's right.
On top of that, Thanksgiving turkey, on top of the pies and cookies.
That's right.
It's the stress that is putting on the pounds.
Absolutely.
So I'm joining in on this challenge. I don't know about you all, but this self-care challenge, I am here for it. I'm going to go to the gym tonight just because she said that. And that's why I don't feel guilty about eating things tomorrow. But I hope you all join her on that challenge, because like she said, self-care doesn't have to be kale and manicures or a beach vacation. And it's not just for a particular price bracket. It's for anybody and everybody. So in the next 7 days, don't put it off, because you've been putting it off. Stop. In the next 7 days, invest in self-care. Take care of the most important tool, and that is you.
Yes.
So I didn't mention earlier, but if you all have any questions as we're conversing, please feel free to kind of jump in and ask us any of these questions. I do want to make a couple of announcements, and then definitely some space for any questions that the community may have. So I've got a new, not challenge, but a new series that I'm going to be working on, and that's called a resume review. So you can have your resume reviewed on a live Yes, on a live. I'm going to critique your resume to get it ready for 2020. So Tanya got your mind right. You got your head right. Because we're going to overcome some of those mental tapes that tell you you're not worthy, that tell you you're not ready. She's got the mental part together. Now we're going to get the practical piece together. I'm going to help you with your resume. So if you want to have your resume reviewed and and you're open to having the community hear your resume reviewed, this one you have to email me on. You got to email me. Send me your resume at jessicacanty@jessicacanty.com. Again, that's jessicacanty@jessicacanty.com. I'm going to do a whole live next week, giving you even more details, but I kind of want to give you a little bit of a spoiler or trailer because it's so connected to what Tanya is saying right now. We've got to get rid of that trauma of past jobs, of maybe people who didn't appreciate your skills. So once you connect with her in that 7 days, you're already ready to receive what we're going to talk about next week. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any questions in the box, but I see people are showing us love and giving thumbs up. So if you like what you all heard, tell Swagger Magazine, bring Tanya back just to keep up this Woman Crush Wednesdays series. And I also wanted to mention that, so 2 weeks ago, we did our first M, and that was makeup. So go check out Glam Gal 85 if you want to hear more about makeup.
Yay!
You can look at that video on YouTube as well. Today's M was for mental health. We've got some more M's coming up. I can't wait to share my motivation M with you. I've got an M for some delectable treats. I can't wait. I've got some M for movement and even a special M for millennials. So double check back with us. We've got some more interviews coming up. And Tanya, thank you again so much for sharing your wisdom, sharing your time. All right, you all, get back to work if you're still at work.
Okay. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and thanks so much for your time. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, and God bless you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.